might admit it, it's still weird, right? When somebody who isn't in the top 6 scores a goal. Good morning to you. Good Friday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Penguins. It comes your way bright and early every weekday if you're into football and or baseball. I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Pirates that I hope you'll additionally check out. Penguins versus Hurricanes tonight at PPG Paints Arena, 7:08 p.m. face-off. I'll be covering that for DK Pittsburgh Sports. And I probably won't be as surprised as I've been when there's depth scoring. The Penguins and Bruins are tied for the NHL lead at the moment with 12 different players who've scored at least one goal. And yeah, I get that it's early, and I get that the Penguins, who are also currently 4th in the league in just general scoring, averaging 4.0 per game, probably won't keep pumping the goals in at that pace. But if there's been one carryover from training camp to the preseason to now, it's been not only this sense, but the execution, the reality of depth offense. Whereas if you think back to last season, it was just Lars Eller and 5 dudes rotating. This year, it's Eller and Kevin Hayes and Drew O'Connor, Jesse Puljujärvi. Nola Chari's shown a little bit in this regard. I've liked Cody Glass's game. I feel like he should have been rewarded at some stage already with a goal. He doesn't have one yet. Michael Bunting doesn't have one yet. I think he's played more than well enough to have gotten himself a couple. Sidney Crosby has just the overtime goal. That's it. This episode is brought to you by Bet Online, your number one source for all your summer sports needs this season, from Major League Baseball, golf, NHL, NBA playoffs. Get the latest odds and lines, including all team matchups, player props, odds on just about everything that's out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Bet Online, where the game starts. So if we're going to cite all the reasons why this can't keep going, we probably should also cite reasons why it just might. Look, this starts, I want to give credit where due, with the summer that Kyle Dubas had. I've praised his summer endlessly, probably a little bit too much, meaning that it's potentially premature. But I loved the concept. I loved going out and getting a bunch of guys and having them compete with each other, so long as Mike Sullivan respects such competition and plays guys based on performance and not on their names. Hint, hint, never, ever, ever, ever scratch Puljujärvi again. And that's carved out a nice scenario here, I think, for all concerned, in that you're not just seeing productivity out of the bottom 6, you're seeing a consistent energy, a consistent effort. It hasn't been the greatest from the defensive standpoint for any of these players, really, so far. Not one on the entire roster. But that's also the sort of thing that comes probably last for most teams. You look around the NHL right now, you're seeing a lot of really high-scoring results. You're seeing some crazy low save percentages for goaltenders who generally don't have such issues. That tells me that there have been a lot of lapses and a lot of high danger scoring chances. But that can be coached, that can be instructed, that can be absorbed. Scoring, not so much. You're not going to teach that strange backhand that Puljujärvi took the other night to somebody. You're not going to say, hey, kid, go work on your backhand on a breakaway, but from the right side of the ice. You're just not going to see that. He has that ability. And some of these other guys have that ability too. You've seen by the caliber of some of the goals that have been scored. It's a good thing. Look, I can't have it both ways. You know, last season, actually really the season before that too, all I did was criticize the third and fourth lines, the makeup, the lack of support, the lack of even enthusiasm, and now you've got it. You've got it. And the best part of it is, if something were to happen with these guys, whether it's injury or performance or whatever, they were to wane or struggle or lose some confidence, there's others waiting. There's others and Wilkes-Barre Scranton who are ready. And that, let's look at it this way. If you're Valtteri Puustinen, who's been up and has been a healthy scratch, and they've been telling you for a long, long time now that you got to shoot the hockey puck. You've got a terrific shot. You keep passing these shots up. It's not going to help you. What do you think he's going to do the next time he is in the NHL lineup? It's funny. I had a conversation with O'Connor after the game the other night in which he had the 2-on-1 with Achari, and he looked in that direction and he wanted to pass, and here's the whole exchange. Just listen to this.
Skating down the right side. Take me through that. You see Noel made a real good play to get you the puck.
Yeah.
Okay, and start the rush. But you see him over there. Take me through your head.
Yeah, like you said, great play by him.
Yep.
Not only does he win the puck, he takes the other guy out of the play, so it becomes a 2-on-1. I was kind of looking past, and I couldn't really find a lane.
That's why I'm asking this question, by the way.
But
because you were looking to pass.
Yeah, I think try to get the puck in a position where you can kind of do both and maybe freeze the goalie a bit. So that's what I was kind of looking to do, and didn't really see a lane there, so just kind of tried to go short side.
That's where you got it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with shooting the puck.
No, it's not. No, I agree.
I mean, that's it, kid. You gotta advance to the next level. You've got to believe in yourself, and you've got to be able to say, hey, listen, I get it. Achari is the grizzled veteran, has all the respect, warrior this, warrior that, but I have the better shot. And in this case, I literally have the better shot to score, as in the better chance to score, because he's at the better angle. And sure enough, he blistered it, and I felt like that goal, which is going to be completely forgotten in the overall context of that night, I felt like that changed the game. It's okay for the younger guys, the third and fourth line guys, to make a difference. When we come back, J1Q. Today's J1Q comes from Corey, who says, DK, can the Penguins have Tristan Jarry, quote, develop an injury, end quote, and send him to Wilkes-Barre Scranton on, quote, conditioning assignment, end quote, but just leave him there and ride with Alex Nedeljkovic instead? Didn't teams hide veteran players in the AHL like this as a cap loophole? I don't know. I don't have that answer, Corey. It's not going to happen, so it doesn't really matter. Mike Sullivan made, I thought, pretty clear a couple nights ago that they're not about to bury Jarry. They're going to let him try to play through it. I don't know if that means using him tonight. I sure wouldn't use him tonight. And I don't just say that because of how awful he was against the Rangers early on, how awful he was against the Sabres early on. I say that because both of those were home games. In fact, those were the Penguins' only 2 home games to date. And if you weren't there a couple nights ago, I don't know that this would or wouldn't have come across on any TV or radio broadcast, but he was not treated kindly by the paying faithful. And I have no problem with that. I have no problem with pretty much anything that the paying faithful do or say, by the way. That's because, they're paying along with being faithful. So throwing him out there into this game tonight, whenever you know that the Penguins have 4 games coming in Western Canada and you can utilize him out there in some form, he's obviously not going to get booed in Calgary or Edmonton or whatever. You maybe buy him a chance to get right on the road. Now, along that path, because Nedeljkovic was sent down for a real AHL conditioning stint yesterday, it's reasonable to expect that Ned's going to be ready at some point, certainly after the Canada trip. And that, by the way, is how these things tend to go too. Whenever you're really far away on a trip, you're not going to see someone end a conditioning stint and just fly all the way out there to be somebody's backup. Most often, for logistical purposes, you'll find a way to continue staying busy as much as possible nearby and then be ready for the next homestand. So I'm seeing this trip as being Jarry and Yoel Blomqvist. It's 4 games. You can split them right down the middle. Jari lives in Edmonton. Maybe he'll, find some home cooking or whatever. I just, honestly, this franchise is going to be so much healthier whenever we're having a dialogue about different goaltenders. You're going to have to take my word for it that I'm not doing this situation up to be some sort of, this guy's got to go or whatever, but this isn't the answer. If Jari does eventually find himself, it's not going to be in Pittsburgh. It's just not. So the faster the franchise can move on to whoever or whichever multiple whoever's are the answer, the healthier the whole thing will be. You have Blomqvist now. You have Ned signed for a couple years, in which he can provide your whole veteran presence thing. You have Sergei Murashov, who might be more talented than any of them, getting action now in Wilkes-Barre. Jari and all of his relative baggage fit into this like a hole in the head. But I also understand you don't want to be paying some other team $5 million a year to play him and whatever, so whatever. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Penguins. We'll be back with another one of these on Monday.